Hello, my lovelies. Welcome to your belated but fabulous coffee run for today. It is episode 470. Another milestone has been reached. I love that we celebrate every 10, right? So it's like, oh, it's 460. Oh, it's 450, and so on and so forth. So I am very excited to talk to you. You all know how much I love frameworks, right? And I know that you guys also find these really helpful. Well, I think you'll find them helpful, but I find them helpful. The reason that I find them helpful is because it means that I've got a way of being able to, I guess, like streamline my thinking. I was talking yesterday in the free group. If you're not in there, you can absolutely join. It's called Nicola's Group for Relentless Business Badasses or something like that. A free group. You're welcome to join. And in there yesterday, I was talking about the importance of how people think and how lots of people really like to be able to identify. They need a reference point, right? So if I say to you, all right, go write your bio, which is what we're going to talk about today. If I say to you, all right, you've got to have a bio and these are the different places that you're going to utilize this bio. If you haven't seen someone else's bio that explains a bit about who they are and what they're all about, if you haven't seen one, it can be very hard for you to go, oh, I know how to write one. Like if I say to you, this is the framework that you can use in order to write your bio, it makes it a hell of a lot easier, right? So we could articulate that using a framework, which is different pieces of like prompts. Hey, Shan. Or we could do it with pictures or whatever. So most people need a reference point. Most people need to know, all right, where am I starting? How do I fill this in? And where am I going? I was talking to my daughter a little while ago about cooking. And she's like, Mum, what's the recipe for this? And what's the recipe for this? And I remember having conversations with my mum when I moved out. I was like, how do I cook this? How do I cook this? And of course, it's like the family favorites, right? That get repeated, my favorite recipes that got repeated and then handed down to my kids. And now like Tiana, who's living out over in the bungalow, she's cooking a lot of the stuff that we would cook at home and things like that, because she's got the reference point. Whereas I know for me, if I haven't got a reference point, then I get really kind of stuck. So for instance, I've been doing this really cool program that learning how to be vegan, right? Not because I particularly want to be vegan, but just because that's the style of eating through this physical transformation program that I'm working through. And we had to cook in the first week. One of the recipes was scrambled tofu. Now, I've never eaten tofu in my whole life that I know, like knowingly that I know of. I have never cooked tofu. I've never prepared tofu. I didn't even, I had some concept of what tofu was, but I didn't really understand it. I didn't know what was in it. I had no idea. So I've had this recipe of scrambled tofu, and I'm like following the instructions, and I'd eat it, and it was like, I couldn't understand how to make it work. So it took a week of kind of practicing it and being like gross, to then learning a bit more about how to prepare it, how to cook it, how to do all of that, right? And now I love it because I know how to do it properly. But me being like, I really like things being I like known things, right? So this was really foreign to me. So when you're trying to do something that's really foreign, it can be very hard without a framework or without a reference point, and your audience is actually the same. So I was just talking with my auntie actually about her bio on the phone, which is why we're a bit delayed today. But what I thought that I would share with you is some advice and a framework on how to write a bio and also how to write an about me. So these two things are very different, right? So a bio is a very short, little, tiny little, maybe 2 or 3 sentences explaining who you are, what you do. and maybe how they can find you. So for example, for the way that I look at it, and this is all totally my opinion, right? I don't know if this is industry standard. This is the Nicola Moras version of bio and about me's and elevator pitches and all that kind of stuff. So an example in here, and what I teach my clients, is that a bio should be something that kind of grabs their attention and that helps people make sense of, you know, who you are and why they've just read your stuff or listened to your stuff. So, for example, Nicola Moras is author of Into the Spotlight, showing you how to cut through the noise online, stand out from the crowd, and become the rock star of your industry, all so your business can thrive. Find out more at blah, 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 blah. So if you were to break that down for you, you would have your first name, last name is a badass business owner, total rock star, mother extraordinaire, business coach to the stars, whatever your thing is, right? Showing you how to also like whatever result it is that your people want. Now, I know that all of you want your business to thrive. Yep. So that's, you know, what the big outcome of you doing this work is, so that your business can thrive in whichever way, shape, or form you want that to be. Find out more at nicolamoras.com.au. So very short, sharp, punchy, straightforward. There are no ifs, buts, maybes, whatever. The only thing that I would probably add in there, now that I'm actually looking at it, is Nicola Moras is author of Into the Spotlight. Showing entrepreneurs and business owners is probably something that I might add in there, just to clarify who it's talking to. Because I'm not talking to a maitre d' on how they can cut through the noise of the restaurant, right? It's very clear to me anyway. You know, if you come across this book, you kind of get it. So, however, an About Me page, which is typically going to go up on your website, shouldn't really be about you, in my opinion. Now, I know, well, it is, but it's kind of not, in a roundabout kind of way. People don't really care when they're looking at About Me page. They don't really care about your story, right? They don't really care that you've been in the industry for 10 years or that you rode horses as a kid or whatever it is that you might think is important. I don't really care. What they want to know is that you're able to help them. All right, if you think about it, a testimonials page or a praise page on your website should talk more into like how amazing you are, right? And what it is that you've done and how it is that you've been able to help people. So the way that I look at an About Me page is like this. So to me, it's more about them. And the way that I literally start this is, I'm going to put all of these in the comments. Hang on, let me just get the video up on my computer, because I reckon that is going to be easier. All right, so About Me number 1. Oh, look, I hit enter far too quickly. How do you know we are live, everybody? Because I can't make the thing work. Hey, Kate, how are you? So the way that I start the About Me page is a lot more like, usually an About Me page is going to tell you all about me, my qualifications and blah, 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 right? You don't care how many qualifications I've got. You should be able to see from my content, from my blogs, from my website, from my videos, that I'm qualified to help you. I'm not a brain surgeon. If you're looking for brain surgery, you need to go to a brain surgeon's website. Those qualifications are going to be very important. You will go over there and you want to know that they've got 20 years of experience in brain surgery, right? They are literally going to be fucking around in your brain. They need, you want them to be absolutely qualified. If you're going to a psychologist or a psychotherapist, perhaps the qualifications are important, but really it's not about the letters after your name. People don't really care. I don't care about the letters after people's names. What I care about is how you can help people, right? How you can help people. So, or how you can help me, more importantly. When I'm looking at your website, I want to know how you can help me. So, the next, so I address that. I'm like, you guys, I love you and I'm really grateful that you're here, but really at the end of the day, you don't really care about me. You want your problem solved. So here's the thing. So the next thing you need to address are the 3 problems in the problem stack. So the problem stack is where you think about your audience, your niche of people that you want to help. And I want to know what the 3 big problems are, right? So it could be procrastination, amazing procrastination strategies, killer deflection skills, and maybe a propensity for hanging around the water cooler, right? What are the 3 big problems that they have? And this might really end up in staff disengagement. It might mean that there's a high incidence of sick leave and things like that at work. It could be that employee engagement is really low if you're in the corporate sector. Perhaps if you're a psychologist and you're working with parents, the problem stack can be feeling like you're being, particularly at the moment, pulled from pillar to post with trying to manage homeschooling and keeping your house in a tip-top shape, as well as trying to manage and juggle your career or your working from home business or your practice or whatever it is that you're doing, not to mention everything else. It's like you might feel as a parent, if your people are parents, maybe they feel as parents that they're just not doing anything good, right? So you want to address what the 3 big problems are in here. So you can read what I've got in mine for example. So this is how you will structure your About Me page. Okay, just if you're joining us, this is how we structure an About Me page. So the next thing that you want to have a look at, what are the 3 things that you eliminate? Okay, so hey Linda, aren't you ready to eliminate imposter syndrome, procrastination, and online invisibility once and for all in a way that feels good? So yours might be, do you want to eliminate the constant feeling of guilt, the constant juggle and strive to fit more in, and your never-ending to-do list, all in a way that has you feeling like you're actually being able to be productive? Okay, so that might be yours if you're in the business of helping parents. So then the next thing, it's not now until we get into what you do, right? So in an About Me page, we've got all of this writing, and then finally, it's like, well, this is what I do. I work with business owners who want to be seen as industry leaders and those who are already seen that way as industry rock stars. That's mine. Yours might be, yes, Carmen, I am talking about you, or your About Me page on your website. So I work with, so yours might be like, I work with families who want their children to be confident, who want them to have courage, who want them to develop a sense of artistic flair, right? You might have, yours might be around, I work with women who are ready to really find a way to live their best life, find their purpose, and feel like they're able to have fun every day. Okay? So once you've got that bit, the next bit that you want to have in your About Me page is the transformation that you provide. So the transformation that you provide is where you go from helping people, how you articulate this, is where we already talked about the problem stack, right? So what are the problems that your people have, and what is it that what do they want, and how is that going to help them get what they want? So mine is, my clients go from feeling overwhelmed and confused with social media, not to mention being invisible, to fully owning who they are, their message, and they become the rock star of their industry, right? So that's the transformation. They go from here to here to here. So for yours, what's your here to here transformation story? You can articulate that. So this needs to be on your About Me profile. Hey Jeanette, then the next step is you want a transition sentence. Now, this might be like your tagline. I've literally used the tag that I've got on the front of my book, which is step up your online visibility, be seen as the rock star of your industry, and make your business thrive. So what they're going to do is step up their online visibility so they can become the rock star of their industry and be able to make their business thrive. So they've got that outcome. So They need to do this so this can happen, and they get this as the result. Okay, so you've got that transition sentence. So what's your transition sentence? Because then what you're going to do is you're going to step them into a call to action. So 7, my call to action is, want to know more about me? So I've already talked about in the about me, which is really all about you. Okay, so all right, well, what is it that where are they at right now? So we've got all of that stuff that helps to paint a picture for the audience who is reading the about me stuff online. And then it's like, okay, so yeah, I want that. They'll be saying, yeah, I don't want to be invisible anymore. Yes, I want to step it up. Yes, I want to be seen as a rock star. Yes, I want my business to thrive. Yes. Okay, now what? You've got to tell them what to do. So, want to know more about me? I say on here, you'll find me multiple times daily on all of my social media platforms. You guys know this to be true for a fact. Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and of course, I'll talk to you through my email list as well. I can't wait to get to know you more, Nicola. So that's the 7-step process for how to write your About Me profile, or how to write your About Me page on your website. Now, what this does is it very clearly articulates to anyone who's reading this who you are, the problems you solve for people, what you actually do. So I work with business owners who want to be seen as industry leaders. It talks about the transformation that people get. So from feeling, to feeling, yay, and what they need to do next. Well, what you need to do next is go to my website and find out more, or go to find me on my social media profiles. Now, underneath that, if it's on your website, you'll have your links to your Facebook page, your Instagram, your LinkedIn profiles. Obviously, I would definitely have a link over to your blog. You might have your email address on there. If you give out your phone number, I don't, but if you give out your phone number, you might pop your phone number in there and do all of that kind of stuff. Okay, so that's the 7-step framework for your About Me profile. Remember, the bio is like just really little. Like your bio doesn't need to be long. It's almost like I use that one that I've got at the end of any articles. Depending on it, we were before Into the Spotlight was available for public consumption. It was Nicola Marasas, the author of Visible, a no bullshit guide on how you can be seen and step up your visibility online and get a return on investment by becoming professionally famous, or something along those lines. And now with Into the Spotlight being out, I've just changed that up a little bit so it really matches the book. So how this plays into your overall content marketing, it's really important. Oh, you're welcome, Jane. What's really important is now that you've identified all of this, so you've identified your problem stack, you know what they want, you know what you help them to eliminate, it's really important that within your content that it mirrors what it is that you do. So it's really important that you know what your message is. It's really like to be able to build this out, you need to know what you're all about. Make sure that your content marketing, kind of enmeshes with this as well, all right? Because there are a lot of people out there who will look for reasons to distrust you. So if they see this in the About Me page and then they go to your blog and you're like, dude, you don't even talk anything about social media, what the heck? Or I'm not talking about anything to do with content, or maybe I'm not talking about mindset, or maybe I'm whatever. You've got to make sure that everywhere that you show up, somehow it weaves in with your About Me. Trust that makes sense. So I hope that is helpful for you, Jane. I'm really glad that you like that. Thank you so much for letting me know. If you've got any questions about this, please don't hesitate to ask. We've got a couple of things I need to let you know about. Number one, next Friday, there is a free online event, which is the power of online visibility, the 3 keys to nailing it online. We've got that happening next Friday, free 1-day event. And then we've also got Visible Live happening towards the end of September as well, which is very exciting. 2 days building, you're making sure you've got your message on point, your content on point, and actually building out a framework, because I love frameworks, building out a framework for you to stand out and be seen online in a way that feels really good for you, which is kind of exactly what I just said in my About Me page. So I will get the links up for that. If you have any questions about anything, please, by all means, feel free to let me know. I will get the link in here for both of those. Both of those things are in the link that I've just posted in here. But as I said, if you have any questions about anything, as always, please ask me. I really, really love making sure that you've got everything that you need to make this stuff work for you. So if you've got questions, let me know, because that way I can answer them for you, and then that way you get more visible, and then that way you get all of the things and you achieve that transformation that's really important to you. All right, my friends, you know what you need to do. You need to get out there, go help some people, have a whole ton of fun doing it, and remember, the world is ready for your brand of awesome. What a wanker. Have an amazing day. Mwah. That was about me, not you, obviously.